E mua mona silvinga mane whaftai le tu le nei TAEAO o mwhai fwoi un tātou wauria mai nei TAEAO fo ilo nā lo whamalo nā ngā le. Good morning Samoa o lau po kalame masani le nei o le tupulanga moa TAEAO po le generation for tomorrow au ina tu e lau TV free. O a o Prince Wha soi lau vi lo mene tonga o a o le sui o le brown care walk ma o a o foi o le tātou sui o le vaenga o le tupulanga moa TAEAO i le nei foi TAEAO fia whalau ilo atu lo mawhatasi e malau so atau o le sunga ia. Tia, good morning tia.
Good morning, Prince, and good morning, Samoa. Just wanted to fix that. Talafalava, wherever you are tuning in from, whether it be Upolu, Savai, Apolima, Monono, in the comfort of your home, wherever, Talafalava, and thank you for tuning in. You know what it is. It is your favorite youth talk show, Generation for Tomorrow, tuning in with you every Wednesdays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. It is a platform where we talk and discuss on taboo issues happening in our community, but we also celebrate our young champions and promote our young entrepreneurs. I am Tia Maria Bipe Dafi Aluni, your co-host, intern, scholar, student facilitator, and so forth for Brown Girl Woke, a nonprofit organization that teaches and molds the young youth on how to be young leaders in our community. We are very happy to be here with you once again, Prince.
Yes.
But before we get into our episode this morning, a lot has happened, Prince, for the 60th anniversary celebration of Samoa. Not only was the Miss Samoa, we had Samoan artists, music artists, movie characters coming in, visiting our Samoa, but also the opening of our Friendship Park. Prince.
Hatubulia foi tu al falan malo i le tātou friendship park. Ia le ngata foi ati lato friendship. Ia awo foi kapos wa iai tuana. Ia tairo iai pe aise awo fatumulia. Ia ai whawhitai lava i le atua. Uma whaiun tātou au lia mai e se tātou a tuto atasi foi le nei tau sanga. Whawhitai foi i a tātou tua aolo mwhai foi un tātou a. Tātou whiola ifo ia leo tātou sapi ai ma tātou ai lato foi ngā luenga sa whai I la so mawai.
Amen, Prince. So before we get into our segment this morning, we'd like to put a trigger warning. So please keep an open mind. We will be talking about one of the most the greatest issue happening in Samoa. And without further ado, Prince, we'd like to introduce our special guests this morning, and I will let Prince introduce them.
Ia o le tātou po kalame fo I le nei TAEAO la mwhai on tātou whātara tonu ai na ai ia ni sui fo I o le vaenga o le Faataua le ola ia po lātou fo I a whionga o lo ngafa malea fo I a mtātā po lea mtāwhai oi ia o te whātalo whātua ia tau a whionga le nei TAEAO ia sumai talmai ao o le po kalame le nei o tupulanga moa TAEAO ia mwhai on tau whaamtalatala ia fo I sa foi o to mata foi o ia fai lo to so fai fai lo foi ia la to ngalwenga lo fai pe malo so tato wat no
malo ta lo falava faftai Prince faftai tia and good morning to our viewers, not only young but also the in betweens and the old, those who are at home. And I'm sure you're the ones that will be capturing a lot of this program is the youth and the elderly. So without taking up much time, I'd just like to say that I'm Papalii, Caroline, Tiumalu, Paul, Chong, and I am the Executive Director for Le Pulisili, Ale Faataua Leala, or better known as FLOW. We are a suicide awareness and prevention organization, and we also run a 800-5433 free line. It's called Samoa Lifeline, and you can call us 24/7, 365 days of the year. And there will be someone on the other end of the telephone to help you weed through your feelings, your emotions, whatever you're going through. And everything is confidential. So, I will elaborate more on that, but I'd like to now introduce our panelist, our mental health workers o whauwhau tua o le mawhauwhau. Le susunga ia Temukisa, Tuaimau, and le afionga ia Leala, Pesamino, Patea. Ia la tuatu lewa noa ia o lua e whaiesina lua introduction. Ia na toi fo imaile ia Prince Matiel tatou. Tainga, ia.
Thank you.
Temukisa.
Ya, whaftai tā alofa Samoa. Alo whaafonga mai o whea lava le mea lo e maua mai ai le leo le Faataua leo le nei TAEAO ia la walaulia mai le Brown Girls ia whaftai tele mo le walaulia ia o le Faataua leo la e ngalue i le tafutolo tangata soifua i lona mawhauwhau o lona tino ma lona nganga. A atoa vaenga ia tolo tangata soifua o le awhapena fo ona manuia ma iai se lumana i le lei mo tupulanga talavou ai mai se lava le lalolangi atoa. Ia a o nisi vaenga, ia o le a tatou talanoa ai pe au o le taimi o le a whatatanoa ai me ta upu whaftai.
Thank you, welcome.
Ya, ma lo whaftai. Salu le manuia le TAEAO. Ya, ma lo ia le li o le fo e mata mai mo mai le atunu o le nei TAEAO fo. I tau singa le atua. Ia le toe whaasili a se whamatalanga leo ua matango fiele le whaasoa fo i o le TAEAO. Ia le tonu le tau whaile o le ua uma ona tafi le TAEAO e whitalainga po le afio ngā Tiumalu. Ia ma whailo ailo mātou whaatau wa o Leala Pesamino Patea. Ia o le nganga lava ia pe ona iai le nei TAEAO o le whaasoa inga o langona mamanato o tupulanga talavou. Ina ia mawhai ona o la fia le tupulanga talavou i lona si o manga ni lei. Ta ua lana whape atu o oio tupulanga talavou o nei maa TAEAO. E whau i ante o ele lumana i o ainga nuu e kalesia e wha moe ia i tātou le tātou atu. Male angang whaalo alo whawhitai.
Thank you for that. So true. That is why our show is called Generation for Tomorrow. So let us get into our questioning. Ms. Carol, I'd like to ask you, so apart from talking to a suicidal person and encouraging him or her to go to counseling, so please do tell me, what else can we do to help?
Okay. Like I mentioned earlier, our 800-5433 Lifeline is there for anyone, be it youth or even younger or the elderly, parents, to contact us 24/7, and there will be someone there to help you. Just weed through your thoughts and feelings. Over and above that, we have outreach programs to the villages and church communities to be able to deliver the message that Faataua Leola carries, to value your life. Faataua Leola means value your life. And so we have been doing this for the past 22 years. We were pioneers in this space of suicide awareness, suicide prevention. So we can safely say that we have a lot of experience and expertise in this field. We are not mental health clinicians or psychologists, but we are mental health workers, or that we are able to help people with their internal feelings. Now, the outreach programs that we do, as I mentioned, is suicide awareness, suicide prevention, with the message that's loud and clear: you are never alone. You are never alone. There is always someone out there that will help you. Don't get to a space where you find that you're in a dark, dark place and you can't reach out. Don't let yourself get there. You can reach out and ask someone. So this is the message that we keep delivering to people when we do our presentations. We also have training workshops which help people, the ordinary, average, everyday person like yourself and myself, Tia and Prince. You can be armed with skills, and it's called communicating skills for suicide awareness and prevention. You would be able to depict and realize that someone is needing help. You know, they're crying out for help. You will be able to see the different ways that they would be crying out for help. And then you can reach out, and it also teaches you the ways that you can offer this assistance without hurting that person, without offending that person. So this is all part and parcel of our work, Tia, and I can elaborate further on that, or I'll let you ask further questions. Is that all right? Okay.
The floor is yours.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. When I'm given the floor, I can go on and on and on.
It is a big
you
floor.
know. So I've made a few notes, but I'd just like to pinpoint and just go back, which I missed when we were doing our introductions. I'd like to thank Brown Girl Woke, especially your boss, Doris, for this great opportunity that has been given to us to be able to further elaborate or further make known the work that we do. We had a space here at TV3 once upon a time, but we haven't been able to bring ourselves back here. But we do work with Efakasa TV, Upumana TV, and NUS, National University of Samoa. So we have the opportunity to be able to, elaborate on our work. But this is a great opportunity, and I'd like to say that it's wonderful that Brown Girl Woke is working in the space of youth, the youth, uplifting the youth, mentoring the youth. It is so needed. It is so needed. And more often than not in our culture, the youth are kind of pushed and set aside. You know the saying, we all know this.
Amen.
You should be seen, but not heard. So more often than not, the youth's voice is not heard. They are told what to do, but they are not heard. But everyone, especially the youth, of course, are now educated. They're questioning. They're exposed to social media. They see what's going on in the outside world, and they want more. They want more. They want a voice. And that's their right as a human being. So this is really wonderful, and I thank Doris and Brown Girl Woke for taking this initiative to mentor and mold and do outreach programs for the youth. I'd also like to say that for years now, like I said, we've been doing this for 22 years. Our organization was formed in the year 2000, and it became an incorporated society in 2002. We started our Lifeline in 2002. So it's been a long journey. And in those days, why Faataua Leala was formed and became an incorporated society was to deal with this issue of suicide, specifically with suicide, because the minister at the time, the Honorable Misa Telefoni Retzlaff, he was the Minister of Health, Ministry of Health. He was the minister of the Ministry of Health in this era. And at this time, suicide in Samoa averaged between 45 and 55 per annum. And that per capita was a big, big load for Samoa to carry. And we became the third highest in the world per capita for suicide. So the Honorable Misa called all citizens of Samoa, government ministries, Ministry of Health Director, church ministries, the police, anyone that was involved socially in the economic and health of Samoa, he brought together. There was about 200 of us, and we came together and we brainstormed and we formed this association, Faataua Leala. So, and like I said, going back, suicide was a problem then, and it still is. And Faataua Leala has been fighting this issue for over 22 years. And I'd like to say now that it's wonderful to see that the police are coming forward, Brown Girl Woke, Teen Challenge, the organization Salvation Army, everyone is coming together to be able to work together towards eliminating or trying to reduce this issue of youth suicide. I remember when we first started, we used to go out with road shows with the Red Cross, with the police, with the Ministry of Health. So many of us, we went out and did a road show. And each of these organizations and ministries would work in their own field, in their own space. But we went as a group. So I would really love to see this happen again. It seems like we're all working in our own space, but we should come together and try and do something more with this issue. And it's wonderful to be here this morning. You know, like I said, we've been working at this for over 22 years. So as you can see, we're kind of at the top of the hill now, or the mountain, and we're going the other way, 50 plus. So we're the voice of experience, but we also bow to the fact that we have a lot of young people coming into this space, and it's wonderful to see the youth working, and I would love to work with you because you are the future of Samoa. The youth are the future of Samoa. We want to help you. We want to bring you to a future that is promising and wonderful. So working together would be monumental in this drive and in this fight. I think I'll pass this over to you again, but I'd like to talk more about the statistics when I have a break. But yes, I would like Tia and Prince to say that congratulations to you and Doris and Brown Girl Woke for this wonderful initiative. And all kudos to the young people. Come forward, speak up, let your voice be heard. Thank you. Thank you, Tia.
Thank you for that.
Ia nau tō whawhunga Samoa ina tali fo ia lea whiunga ia Papalii. Ia o se tali e pito sili lava o na whaotia loto ia mawhisosoani fo ia tātou tupulanga le nei fo i vai tau. Tia, lua suma lua tau sanga talo na whawae. Ia, ola. E o leo lua suma tase o tau sanga ia e matua to ele tau sanga na whawae ai le pokalame lea nei loa. Ai o le mea moni lava ele alo le whaamtalanga o loo tupu pea lea whawhitauli o le pule leola. A laua fionga Leala au te fia whawsili atu i laua fionga o ani whawhitauli o loo tausi la fia e mafu ai le tūlanga o le pule leola. Pua foi se awala o loo tūtam whai e foi ai lea whawhitauli.
Whawhitaia mo le whawhisili. Tāua i o le meleua tala noa i lau sunga le taitai. I le nei TAEAO. Pe antātou o i le tū ma le anga nuu i tono le whaale loto i whale. Hoi pe o lisi leo vaenga i le whesuia inga mainga o lea taimi i lea taimi. Le ngā whesuia i lau tala i le winga i lea taimi. E whesuia i fo le mawhauwhau. O le whesuia inga fo le mawhauwhau. E whesuia i mai ai a mionga. O whesuia inga fo i o amionga, e whaatino mai ai nisi whainga, e lei mai leo iai le mawhauwhau i whai on whai ai. O whaafi tā uli le pei ona e whesidingia. E tutupo e whaafi tā uli ma halu e le mawhauwhau o le tangata, e mawhauwhau e whidiwhidinga e lei mawhauwhau ina. E le tasi. E le tasi se whaenga pei ona e whesidingia. Mua o meo whainga wo, whaatupulang tala wo. Lua, o le vaenga o telefoni. O le media. Po lunga o mei o le internet po, nisi me whaingoa i isi tangata. Social media. O lisi vaenga. O le vaenga lea mafua mai si o manga o le ainga. Sama le broken family. Lisi o whawhi tauri, e ona tūla i mai ai. O vaenga nei o tūlanga, o le whaatino ina o le mtawha i oi whaatina i tonu ma le mātua i tonu ainga. Pie maa le tātou mawhauwhau le mea. Ai male ano ai o whaafi tauri. Le ngata i tonu ainga whaapena fo i tonu whale a onga. Whaafi tauri le tonu whale a onga po le saipa puli. Le sau ele vaenga lea. Whaifo le tami e afu aina mawhauwhau tama i titi alo whaile mea si se. O le tāua lau whaafesiri, o le anganga lava o le whala potonga. Ia aua ne ino fo ilo ma fau le fa fitauli. Aua ne I avea lo ma fau ina ia fa afiaina ona tulanga fa fitauli. Ele esenga matu ainga fa fitauli o le tulai mai. E a fa ina ile ma fau le tupulanga talavou. Mantolo a tātou tala noa le tupulanga talavou. O lona winga. O tātou tala noa I le lumanai. O tātou tala noa I le talavou mō a TAEAO. Le e whata o toa le folasanga o tātou pokalami. O le talavou mō a TAEAO. O lona winga. Le tātou te tala noa TAEAO I tupulanga talavou. A whaale e tonu la nei. E whaale e tonu TAEAO. O mo le o le winga le o lau tala. Le o tātou tala noa I whaafita uli. A le fufuor whaafita uli le nei. E whaale e tonu TAEAO le tupulanga talavou. Ai sea. E le o whaesenga luenga I le melea. O le ngaluenga le fai, e whaangalua ile maa fau, o le langona maa mionga. Le toru le o tau ave. O le toru foi lea, o lai le tangata soifua, o le toru foi le a inga, le nuu, le ka le sia. A toa o mai le tangata, I lona si o manga, I lona whaasino manga, I tū manga. O nei māneia I o la utala noa, ue I le ngangana o le tātou watu nuu. Ono le tele o whaafitauli, e lofi a lava, o le tama ale ele. Ia po o le tātou lava tū maleanga masani. O le winga lana, le ono utale tala noa na wef sitting. El vainga mua na lau whawhisilia, Prince. O le te tala noa I po awhawhitau. O tele fo ila awala e fo I ai. E le tasi fo ise awala e mwhaina tātou ngānu lue. E fo ala mea ele whawhitau. E whawhitau whale wo. Whawhitau tono le ainga. Whawhitau le wā unga ni la iti tala vou. Ia o whaafitauli tau I whanau. Ese umala awala e whaonga ai whaafita e fo I ai whaafitauli. E pei lava o le ngangana fo I lele a whapete ofu nele ofu tuaitulo. E le fia ilo ma fau. Ia e whape na fo I la e le fia ai. Ai o avatua na ia ta whaata itai. Manai vaenga ia tau na to mua ila o whamatalanga nei umi. O lewo o whamatala ina vaenga la itia. Ia peo lau lea tala no atu.
Whaftailo a fionga Leala, ia manato le ato e fo imena tātou whātata noanga, pia mai aniso tātou whasalaunga wha business. Te whatalo whātu le mamalo si o tātou atunu i le nei foi TAEAO i lau po kalame o le tupulanga moa TAEAO whātatanu ai ia nisi foi o sui mai le vaenga o le whātau o le ola awane ngalo o lea watatala tātou la inga tolu valu e te whaafiso tai mai ma whaasoa lo mafofau mo manatu e ala foi i la tātou po kalame le nei TAEAO o le whātau o le ola ai o te whaafisile atu whaabai taua fionga ia me se foi le ia le afiona ia i le fesile whaapea se e toe whaamtalatala lava po le a se saufisosoani i se tangata ua afia ni langona mtaua wa ina pule le ola mtau whaamtalatala a tili po le a fo i sau fisosoani vave i le taimi lea a o le iai ia se fisosoani i mo i lato.
Whaftai lava mo le whafisiri. Whafonga fo e tatou atunu i le tūlanga lo ia i le telo whawhitau li o lo tūlai mai pēa ki tono Samoa. O mea e whaingo fia re kako ai. O le kukupu ai fo i ngā whawhikau. E iai kemi kako kere malamalama i le kangaka lai e ngofo malonga whawhikau. E pe ia e whakusa inga i aisa fo i le runga le sami a i Prince. Ai lako e kikiro le aisa i runga le sami e kei loa aku se vaenga. Ai le mawhainga e lo aku le mafia fia o le aisa le lalo le sang. Inga ia mawhainga kako vava ai e whape ngare kangaka ia a fia i vaenga i o whawhikau. Kako ke va ai a kuionga fōringa va ai a maonga kingo mai malanga sira mai. Ai le mawhainga e lo le mafia fia o whawhikau i lei e kokongo longa loko. E iai fo i lei kokongo sio manga ainga. E kelo makua wale malama i vaenga ia. Wala i fo i la on kukupu mai whawhikau li makula i mai e pēr pule le ola ma le mawhai onga fo ia ma ave sea mai le mawhau al kupulang kalavo. O ngā o lea wa ia ke ia longa ia malama malonga ia iloa. O ia lava e mawhai e ia onga fo ia whawhikau ai muri ai. Ua lea i se whakau e inga o longa ola malonga soifua. A o longa lue pēr le whatau le ola i lana ngā luenga o le Lifeline. Ma le kalamongi lava ia. O kupulanga kalavou ma le wala au mai lunga ke le fongi leo le valu se lau lima whātoru tolu. Ua kele inga lave inga le soifua. E lei masesi o maua mai ka ngaka ia ua mali li upa o kupulanga ia ua pule soifua. O maua mai se suafa o se tangatanga vili mai. O le kele foi o kaimi e vili mai le ka ngaka o laua ku ma le maia po le vaila au po le a. O le ngalu engal whātaua le ola, e ngalu lue whakasi ma le atua. E ku ua kulo kaloko i le ali. Inga ia mawhai o ngā whasosoangi aku le ali iwa. E le mawhai nga e ilo aku po o whea kongu le mele ku mai kanga kai le kaimi le wala au mai ai. A o oele ke ilunga ke le fongi. O le ala wai ka mawhai. Inga ia whaia se aikia, inga ia come down na le kanga ka lea. Ma ave se ai le au penga le o ngofo mai ia. I le ku wako loko ako i le ali i malau kakalo le leoa. E le vave i o le kari ali e au mai. E ke whaalongo inga i lau whakarkalangoa, e ke kufesili kangaka. O le ase mafuanga, o le alu kaua, ia e manga kua o le ola, o le mea lofa e pakingo lava ia oi. O le mea lofa pa ia mai le akua. E le aise isi e mawhaionga avesea, e nga o le atua e mawhaiona ia avesea le ola. A whakalangoa, o le si keimia e whainga kaere kangaka kau mai. Ai ai awala le ali e fanganga ingai o e kuakua i le upu fala e au mal fa fanga e ke faalongo inga wa ia le suinga le leo kangaka e ke ia wa faalongo ku wakangi e ke la ngonga inga wakangi kangaka o lawa ofia ku ia le upu le nga e ka mafai ai awa ia lava lo malama ile ngangu ia lava malama ku spa ia e mafai nga avaku le upu ale le kapenga penganga kangaka si o manga le mal vaenga le e mafai foi onga kaungu le upu le ka ko kenga ngai o kupulanga kalavou o le lumanga i le o akaiao ma o ko suli o fo linga i o le lumanga o a inga e kalesia mangu o ngor ka ko kai ia la fa pupu aku ia fa penga ai ka ua ke o ko kupulanga kalavou ia e mafau le o e ka ua oe e ka ua kangaka uma pe disability lava le kangaka pe palosi pe makiva pe maua e iai le fofor fa fikauri ai le o le pule le ola o se kali le ngalo fa fikauri fa tai mo le amanoa
So, Lavalo Fiona, very powerful, encouraging words. There you have it, Samoa. Once again, 33338. Our line is now open, so please call in if you have any questions while we are here with our professionals. We would love to cater to you. So, Lavalo Fiona, Carol, let's talk numbers. So, I'd like to ask, how much has the rate of youth suicide increased the past couple of months? What would you say is the stats? What would you say to Samoa is the number now?
All right, your question is the last couple of months. I would like to go back 5 years, our stats. Our stats go back to when we started, in the year 2002 when we became incorporated. But I'd like to touch on the last 5 years, and very quickly, because I'm mindful of our time. When we first started the organization, like I mentioned, we were documenting between 45 and 55 suicides per annum. That's annually. And that is recorded. There's, with our post-vention outreaches that we go into the villages to visit these families that have been documented or these victims that have been documented, we find that there are others that are unreported. Sometimes families hide suicide. They bring it across as something else. And that's another issue that I won't touch on. But suicides are unreported, underreported, or passed off as another death. So those statistics are only what we've recorded. However, in this day and age, the average now, just going back, in those days, 22 years ago, it was mostly women that were committing suicide. And in this day and age, it's mostly men.
Yes.
And it's the youth, and that's the age between 17 and 35. And we put this down to the fact that women are becoming more vocal. They are being given a voice. There's a drive now to eliminate gender-based violence in this country, driven by the United Nations, WHO, and specifically with Spotlight Initiative program. There's a lot going on in this space of gender-based violence. And with gender-based violence, women are being given a voice to speak. And so they're crying out more, and they're finding solutions to their problems. Now, with the stats, because the youth are still not given a voice, the work that Brown Girl Woke is doing in this space is so important, because we need for parents to realize that they need to give their children a voice. 22 years ago, the youth at that time are now parents. They are now parents who have been there, done that, have been through this, and so they should understand what their children, what the youth are crying out for, a voice in the wilderness that wants to be heard. So going to our statistics, in 2018, we documented a total of 19 suicides, and that's low. We always say that if we're below 20 in any given year, we're okay, we're doing okay. Not 45, not 55 like we were 22 years ago. So the last 5 years, 2018 was 19. 2019 was 21. 2020, we documented 23. 2021, we documented 19 completed suicides. This year, which we are now into September, we've documented 14. So we're hoping to keep that number down. By December, we hope that we are not over the 20 mark. I'd like to also mention, that's the completed suicides. The statistics for the attempted suicides is high. 28 for the attempts in 2018. 2019, 18 attempts. 2020 was 24. 2021, we had 19. And this year, to date, is 14. So it kind of on a par, but that's still high for attempts. And we're hoping that that we can bring this down. Yeah. Thank you, Tia.
Thank you very much, Lofiona Carol, for those encouraging words. But that is our time, Samoa. I hope that you have learned, I hope that you have picked up at least all the encouraging words from our professionals, this morning. So please, there you have it. Once again, our lifeline for Faataua Leala is on their page. Do follow them. Once again, it is 800-5433. So please do not hesitate. Ask for help now. As one of the our mental health officers has mentioned, it is generational curses, childhood upbringing, and of course, so parents, please check on your children. That is our time. Please tune in for our second segment. Thank you very much to the professionals of Faataua Leala Samoa Lifeline for coming in with us. And Brown Girl Work and TV3 wishes you all the best with your work. It is not an easy job to do so. Samoa will be right back right after this short commercial break. Do not go anywhere.
Toi whatalo whatu le mano seo tātou atu nu i le nei fo I TAEAO. Nato lea ua mai al tātou whata tanoanga I malvaenga fo le whata ua le ola I olo te le fo so lātou a o nanga mo I tātou le nei TAEAO. Ai maisi lava I tupulanga talavou ai mo lo si fia I o lea fo ua tātou I man tātou malo whaloringia ia o le sunga fo ia la whailoa atu e Tia Maria. Tia?
Welcome back, Samoa, to Generation for Tomorrow. We are on to our second segment this morning. Here with us, another special guest, another amazing organization that is hands-on in terms of mental health and so forth. So without further ado, I will let her introduce her amazing self. And please do tell our viewers a little brief about yourself and your work.
Thank you so much, Talafalava Samoa. Talafalava, thank you to Brown Girl Woke and TV3 for having me on board. It's such a blessing to be here today. So I am the president for Light of Hope. Light of Hope is basically, we are it's 2 years old, but we're basically at the Tana Malala right now, helping assist with rehabilitational programs to help inmates inside and outside of prison.
Yes. Thank you for that. So let's straight into our questioning. So in your career of working with the youth, what have you come across to be the main reason why the youth finds it difficult to communicate about their feelings? That relates to...
So I'm basically based out in the village, and I'm in a whole bunch of other organizations, but just seeing with the youth right now, I was raised here in Samoa, and we were raised in basically a very authoritative approach. Okay, we don't ask questions. We don't want them to ask questions. We don't talk about feelings, and this is something that I grew up with. And so right now we're seeing a lot of the issues come up now because we're still going, and parents are still using this type of approach. I didn't realize it as well because I grew up in this, and also I do the same with my children. But I think understanding more about why we do what we do, children are now, it's one of those, okay, we've got an issue, but we have to change our approach now. As adults, we need to change the way we think and change our approach and just be a bit more compassionate and loving towards our children and understanding what they're going through and really just being there for them.
Thank you for that. So, in relation to that, what are the methods that Light of Hope uses to deal with, in terms of suicide and mental illness in your area of work?
Okay, so our organization is fairly new, so we're still trying to, it's always changing our ways, changing policies and ways to really adapt to who we are dealing with. But there are so many risk factors and it's responding, some of the indicators that we usually come across when we're dealing with people that are suicidal. It's, taking on the warning signs. What are the warning signs? Taking them seriously and really just being there for them. Remembering that suicidal behavior indicates conflicted thoughts. A lot of the teens that we deal with now, they're frustrated and they don't know how to bring out how they're feeling. And so this is where we come in to be ready to provide help immediately. Most of the times I think, when we do, like I've had a few family members commit suicide, and it's one of those, it was, we kind of live with regret. It's one of those, if I had known, I should have done this, or maybe I should have called out, or, I should have reached out. But when you are faced with somebody that is going through this and we see the changes, behavioral changes, and they start to talk about, we have to act, we have to show, support, be there for them. Yeah.
Okay, so, as you have mentioned, it's mostly the youth that are vulnerable to suicide or suicidal thoughts. So please, do tell me, because I have a lot of friends that share with me emotions, and even myself during these hard times. So what procedures or what's the process? What would you advise me to, or like what ways would you tell me to help someone or even myself when hard times?
Okay, so You know, the question always comes, what's the difference between talking to a friend and talking to a professional counselor? We have organizations like Brown Girl Woke out there who are ready, you know, the community groups that are there, Faataua, Leala. We also have Christian Soul Talk, Salvation Army, and all of these people are there. And the difference between talking to a friend and talking to a counselor is that we're there to offer support, there's confidentiality, and we show no judgment. We're not going to judge you, whatever you're going through, we're just there to listen. It's all about you.
Thank you for that. You know, in your area of work, I'm sure you have come across a lot of these issues with mental health and also suicide. I'm so sorry to hear about your family and your experience with suicide, so I will let Prince take over.
Sa leila va ole suicide pole lola ole se tasilo fa fita o lo yai pe o mafofau ona e so friends po sa best friends mai maulo na soifua ona ole pule lola ai se ole fafsili lava i lo mafofau ona e aulelei e ata mai e le se mea la ona pule lola ai ole ofisili pole ale ole ale finga taia te ia ona ia tanu e fo ia le fafita o lona mafofau ina awani fa isistulang ai apea fo ina ni talango mai ati mato anga friends pe talanoa fo i ona matua ai ua fai ala vale fai unga woilo na mafaufa ai se ua vavi ai una fai unga se tangata wa fier mafaufa.
Thank you for the question of Tiumalu Facility, Prince. You know, we're all different. There's some people that can handle a situation and some people are not. You know, we're all at different levels. We don't understand what goes on in each other's minds, but it's some of these. You know, some of them may be suffering from mental health conditions such as depression, anxiety, relationship problems between va'alako makua or with a boyfriend or a girlfriend, a recent death of a family member or a friend. So these are all things, but it's important that we talk about our feelings, talk about how we feel, and this is something that we're really trying to push out there. Is that, you know, talking to our children, and it's also something that I go through too because of my children. I have children, but it's one of those, you know, ile relationship o palangi with their children. O le mafanga ia langa e kalangoa, the parents talk to, hi, how are you? You know, but o kako Samoa, it's always like, yeah. So if I do this, it's a you know, but we don't talk about it because that's how it was. And we may have gotten through it in the 80s and the 90s, but this is a time where we really need to change our approach and we have to be more loving and understanding towards our children and the future generation.
Okay, faftai la velo fionga ole fafsidi lo fafsidi mun fo ile ile sunga ile vale o matua mfana ole asa soani e tuina i matua ia ile the way they treat their children up ole ia walo lo lato fai lato fana o yeta tonunga o ese generation ole vai taimine o mana o mia lava ele tamai titi ia po fana o fo ile fia o mafofa ai o mai lava matua male ai o te le play mina matua ai o la to ai am ta fa yo o le ai o fana ai ua over for ile si taimi o la to fasil fana o la to fai upu o so na la fana ia mun ia ne to ma fo eti nga upu ia o le a fo isa o e fo tuanga ia ile relationship o matua ma fana ia o tai ia ma la to fanau ale ngata fo ile o fa ia o ngam te mai tia o nga o le fo iso fo tuanga ia ti la to e ala ile fa fitau.
Okay. You know, we are a nation, we are a Christian nation. And we can do all of these things, but we can never, it doesn't work. We have to bring God back into our families. And we pray for our children. We pray for each other. And this is the only approach that we can, it's just bringing God into our families. And it's one of those, you know, we have to declare and speak life over our children. And that's the only way. And I do the same thing, you know, with our kids. And then we resort to the same thing because I grew up like that. But it's different. We have to learn to really and love our children and just we have to pray for our children. And that's the ultimate key. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. But I'd like to touch on, as you have mentioned, that you are working on rehabilitation of inmates. How's that like? Is there youth in there? How? Just from your experience, please do tell us.
So I can't really share much information about what goes in,
yes.
but it is challenging, and I take my hats off to the Samoa police and prisons for the job that they do, and it's not easy. But it's also, we're there to assist them, so we can't do much. It's following their policies and their procedures and just working together with them. Yeah. There are youth in there, but we're also trying to see how we can approach. Yeah.
Wow,
perhaps this.
Cannot imagine the power of Samoan women. So before we leave, my last question will be, what words of encouragement? I mean, you have said so many words of encouragement throughout this whole segment, but what words of encouragement would you still say to someone out there, or a youth out there who is going through something at home, as we have mentioned, with parents and, maybe school that's just dealing with so much?
Oh, words of encouragement. We're here for you. You're not alone. There are organizations out there. There are people that we want to see you live. You may be going through something. You might be going through an issue that you may think that nobody understands, but we're there for you. We're there to listen to whatever you're going through, whatever you want to speak. There's counselors here, and there's other organizations that are available. Yeah.
I don't know if we have mentioned, but we are here with a professional herself. So, Samoa, please do take advantage. We have brought to you our professionals this morning. First off, Faataua, Leala, and now Light of Hope. Very emotional morning, Samoa. So please, heavy on the be safe, heavy on please be kind. I hope that you have kept an open mind with us this morning. So please reach out when you can. Use the resources that we have in Samoa. Brown Girl Woke is here for you, Faataua, Leala, and also Light of Hope. So I will pass on to Prince. Thank you, Samoa.
After lava, awane ingalo lo yenta to feso swani mo itato wole tupulanga mo TAEAO lo yele Faataua Leala. O lo iai le Light of Hope, o la toi fuatainga, o lo iai fo le Brown Girl Woke e mawhai o na fsiosoani i langona ma le mawhau whau o se tangata ua tauau lava o na awhia ma tauau ai ina pule leola. Ai whaftai lava Samoa i o tātou por kalamini nai nei TAEAO, whaftai fo ia tātou malo whalolongia ia mo le tadia fo i le wala au whaftai le sunga tamai taipule ia me se foi ia le tatou au whainga luenga TV3 e le ngata i lea Doris Tulifau, Brown Girl Woke ia whaftai foi o le tatou pokalame o le tupulanga mo TAEAO i le nei foi TAEAO. Ia manato le unga le tatou pokalame tia?
Yes, Prince, we have come to the end, but before we leave, once again, for Faataua Leala Samoa Lifeline, the number is 800-5433. So please call and also find Light of Hope online if you have questions, if you are dealing with something, if you need someone to be there. Remember, as both organizations have mentioned, there is confidentiality. You can come anonymous, you can call, do not mention your name. That is okay as long as you share with us and be with us. And also Brown Girl Woke confidentiality is really strong over there, really strong with us. And also reach out to us with me and Prince on our social medias. And yeah, thank you for tuning in with us this morning. Once again, please, find solutions. There's so much in Samoa. We are here for you. We hear you and we see you. Thank you for tuning in with us this morning. We'll see you once again next week. Tofasefua.